victory. In Jacksonville, Florida, UCF taking on Notre Dame in the Jacksonville College Baseball Classic. That one just started, no score in the bottom of the first. In Lake Charles, Louisiana, Kansas taking on McNeese State. Kansas up 1-0 in the bottom of the first. And then a couple more games later today that are yet to start. Baylor versus Oregon State in the Round Rock Classic, 6:45 first pitch. A 6:30 start, first pitch between UTRGV versus Houston. And then a few 7 o'clock starts, UConn versus Arizona out in Tucson. Kansas State will take on Auburn at 7 o'clock in the Amegy Bank College Baseball Series at Globe Life Field. Oklahoma State will take on Grand Canyon University in Phoenix. Then St. John's versus Arizona State at 7:30. And then a couple 8 o'clock starts to round out the day. A couple of Utah teams taking on San Diego teams. BYU versus San Diego State, and then Utah versus the University of San Diego. So a very stacked Big 12 slate.
Yeah, so I always really like the beginning of college baseball season because you'll see, the matchups that look like it's the beginning of March and we're watching, some mid-majors trying to get some upsets on some ranked teams. I mean, this is just absolutely ridiculous. Oklahoma State playing Grand Canyon, Arizona State and St. John's. That is the most, second round of the NCAA tournament thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Speaking of, I cannot wait. Just about 3 weeks away.
Yeah, I mean, going to be, pretty deep into, college baseball season. Have some March Madness to watch in the middle of class. I mean, I would never do that.
Middle of class?
Yeah, no. I mean, after I get home from class, of course, I know all my professors are listening right now, so I would never disrespect your curriculum like that. But I mean, everybody does it.
All right.
Everybody does it. But we'll get back to baseball. I mean, yeah, some interesting stuff going on. I feel like, most of these teams besides Cincinnati, who just loves to be Cincinnati and lose to teams they shouldn't lose to, I feel like everybody should, kind of get the job done handily. Besides the people that are, the teams are playing in the classics, like Baylor, would love to see them just get blown out. But number 11, Oregon State, great team. Of course, TCU met them at the end of last year, and we all know how that one went. Not very well. But
we don't talk about
some interesting matchups here. All right. Well, we're going to take a little bit of a short break here. When we come back, we are going to have the Dugout Show with Chuck LaMondola and Kirk Sarlos. Keep it right here on 88.7 KTCU, The Choice, your choice for TCU baseball.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, game show host, father of 5, and all-around big dude. I'm also an expert on drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind, like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind, like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama, like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. That's diploma to 97779. And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ed Council.
You are tuned to the TCU Baseball Dugout Show on KTCU 88.7 FM, Fort Worth. First pitch is just minutes away, but right now let's head to the dugout for a quick chat with today's guest.
Welcome back. Chuck LaMondola along with head coach Kirk Sarlos. And Coach, we head out here to UCLA. I know you're disappointed over the last couple of ball games, and especially on Tuesday night where you kind of got off on the wrong foot.
Yeah, for sure. We're still, like I said, we're figuring out roles. And obviously, I was super happy for how we played after the first inning. In terms of you give up 9 runs in the first, and there's a lot of things that could go sideways on you. But I thought we did a really good job. Nelly did it, which was good. His first time out, threw the ball well. I thought Durnan, even though he didn't go a clean inning, threw the ball well in his inning. And then the offense came back, but. Yeah, like it always comes down to starting pitching. In the last 2 games, we haven't had really good starting pitching, playing from behind, and that's tough to do.
This weekend will be a little bit of a challenge. Tommy not available to you, and that's going to cause you to shift some things around. So what's kind of the pitching plan for this weekend?
Yeah, so we just moved everybody up. So we're going to go with, obviously, Brassfield through 70 pitches or so on Saturday. So he's going to move class that we played 2 years ago are all juniors coming off a Omaha run.
The TCU Horned Frogs, who come into the game still ranked high in the polls that come out this week. Of course, coming off a disappointing loss against UTA, but it only takes a weekend to turn things back around.
Yeah. Obviously Tuesday didn't go the way that TCU wanted it to. You can throw that out the window depending upon how things go here over the next 3 ball games. Then another Monday game against LMU as well. But a lot of work to do for TCU over the weekend. You come on a true road test against the number 1 team. It's a top 10 matchup. Has the potential to really affect things down the stretch from an RPI perspective. But it's a great test for TCU to see where they sit as of right now.
For Mason Brassfield, he's really got to come out and set the tone for the Horned Frogs. Over the last 2 ball games, we saw the starting pitching falter, and TCU had to play from behind.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see how he handles this. Friday night in that first starter slot, taking over for Tommy Lepore. It's a great chance for him as well to get a sense of where he is to start the year. Going just 4 innings in his last start. We'll see what the pitch count looks like today, and especially with it being chilly. But you're exactly right. It's got to set the tone. You've got to establish the strike zone early. You heard Kirk Sarlos talk about this UCLA lineup that has spent a lot of time together. It's going to be really important to get ahead with strike 1.
On the flip side, when TCU won their 2 games last weekend against Arkansas and Vanderbilt, they were able to get out on top and then hang on later on in the game. So for this offense that's only hitting 169, they really need to start to click.
Yeah, you don't want to be in a spot, especially with what we've seen from this offense already, where they've got to have to take pitches and really see later into counts because they're falling behind. There's a lot of strikeouts to start the season for TCU. Look for them to be a little bit more aggressive here to get things going. Try and put their foot on the gas early to play from ahead.
It should be a great ball game. We hope you'll join us. We got the first pitch coming up in 5 minutes. We'll send it back to the KTCU studios for the time being, and then we'll be back here in just a little bit to bring you all of the action tonight.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard, so you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
You don't need to get a second job as a stuntman.
We need a new stuntman.
You just need FeedThePig.org. Don't get left behind. Get tips and tools at FeedThePig.org. Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Welcome back inside the KTCU studio for the final time before we send you back out to LA for good. We've got an interesting pitching matchup tonight. Of course, Mason Brassfield getting the start for the Frogs, his first Friday night start as a member of the team. The 2025 Big 12 All-Freshman team member. He's coming off his brilliant freshman season where he started as a reliever but joined the rotation late in the season. 0-0 record, 4.5 ERA in 4 innings. His last appearance, of course, came last Saturday against Arkansas, where he typically makes his starts. Gave up 2 runs on 3 hits, pitched 4 innings, 6 Ks, 4 walks. It's the first time we're going to see him on a Friday night, and what a time to have it be your first start against the number 1 ranked Bruins. He's got a solid arsenal, a lot of speed, quick fastball, usually around 94, and then he's got a sinker, slider, changeup, off-speed combo that all vary within 7-ish miles per hour. His fastball, that helps him get a lot of whiffs. How well do you think he can fill in for Lepore, who's dealing with some elbow soreness?
Well, it's definitely going to be some tough cleats to fill, but, I mean, Brassfield, he is a very, very talented pitcher. He has a great arm. As you mentioned, he pitched pretty well in his performance against Arkansas last week whenever he went 4 innings and gave up 2 earned. But, yeah, I mean, as of now, he's going to be the Friday starter for the foreseeable future. We don't know what the report is on Tommy Lepore as of now. But, yeah, it's going to be tough to fill his shoes for now, but it's going to be very important for Mason Brassfield going forward to, at least be somewhat sharp. That way, TCU can kick off these weekends pretty well.
Yeah, and then it's going to be a tough one today because on the other side of the bump, we've got Logan Redeman. It's his first season as a Bruin after spending his first 2 just south at the University of San Diego. He's an all-West Coast Conference first team in both of the years he was with the Toreros. 1-0 record so far, 5.4 ERA in 5 innings. He started his first appearance of the season against UC San Diego, another San Diego-based team, last Friday. Gave up 3 runs on 5 hits, 2 walks, but fanned 6 on the day. So it's going to be quite the interesting one. All right, I think that's going to do it from us here. Get out to Jackie Robinson Stadium, and let Chuck and Connor get through the lineups here.
Well, thank you very much, everybody, and good evening, everyone, back in Fort Worth or wherever you may be listening to the ball game. Out here in California, the sun just starting to set as the Bruins have taken the field. And on the mound, the right-hander, Logan Redeman.
You just heard the guys talk about it. His first season in a UCLA uniform. Pitched against the Horned Frogs last year in San Diego for the Toreros. Went 5 innings in that start. He struck out 8 Horned Frogs. So TCU seeing the right-hander historically, a lot of these guys in the lineup. His start last week for UCLA, 5 innings of work. He got the win. Gave up 5 hits, 3 earned runs. He struck out 6, walked 2. So coming off of a good outing for Redeman to start the year. Going to be a good test for this TCU lineup coming up.
The lineup that he will face this evening for the Horned Frogs has Cole Kramer leading it off. He's at second base. Sawyer Strohschneider back in center field tonight. He bats second. Chase Brunson slides over to right field. He bats third. The cleanup hitter is the shortstop, Lucas Franco. Rob Liddington Jr. is over at first base. He bats fifth, batting sixth behind the plate, Nolan Traeger. Back in the lineup for the Horned Frogs, Brady Dallimore. He is the DH tonight. He bats in the number 7 spot. Caius Gargett, who's had a really good start to his TCU career, will bat in the 8th spot. He's over at third base. And making his first appearance of the season, Colton Griffin in left field. He will bat in the number 9 spot for Kirk Saarloos here tonight. Cole Kramer making his way to home plate as we get set to start this ball game off. TCU dressed in their road gray uniforms with purple pinstripes. TCU across the chest in block letters and purple outlined in white. Same for the numerals on the back to go along with the purple cap. As Kramer whips the bat around and steps in against Redeman. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. Fastball strike called outside corner. For UCLA, they're in their home white uniforms with the kind of baby blue pinstripes. UCLA in cursive across the chest in blue, outlined in gold. Here's the pitch. Cut on and missed. Took a little something off, and it's 0-2 on Kramer. Cole hitting .267 on the year. Without a home run, couple RBIs. He does have a double. That's from the right side. Redeman delivers and misses wide to run the count to 1-2. Redeman to the line, brings the hands over the head, the arm around, tries to clip the outside corner, and again, misses off the plate. It's 2-2.
And you can see he's wanting to attack with that fastball. 3 out of these 4 pitches to start the game, the heater.
See what he dials up here on the 2-2 pitch. Missed inside. That didn't look like the fastball that time. I think he tried to sneak a changeup by him. Full count now on Cole Kramer. Here's the payoff pitch. Strike 3 call. Kramer caught looking. That pitch looked like it was right down the middle, and I think Cole thought it was low as he turned around and said something to Ramon Armendariz, the home plate umpire.
Yeah, might have thought it was low. Also looked like could have potentially been guessing. Just got frozen up. This one all over the plate at the bottom part of the strike zone.
Well, 1 out, base is empty for Sawyer Strohschneider. Stroh takes the strike. Started him off with a changeup. 273 for Strohschneider, a home run that came on opening day against Vanderbilt. That's his only RBI to this point. Big swing, fouled it back, and the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Defensively, in the outfield left to right for the Bruins, it's Dean West, Will Gasparino, the former Texas product, and Peyton Brenneman. 0-2 pitch on the way. Stroh flips it in the air, left field, long run for West. Going back out is Roman Martin, third baseman, and he makes the catch about 25 or 30 feet onto the outfield grass.
That's a breaking ball down and away from Sawyer that he's just flipping out there into shallow left field. You said it, Chuck. Out in front, and the third baseman able to range back, make the play. 2 quick outs for UCLA in the top half of the first.
Chase Brunson will be the batter. As he makes his way to the plate, hitting .429. He's been one of the hotter Horned Frogs here in the early going. Takes the pitch for ball 1. He's without a home run, but he does lead the team with 5 RBIs and 4 doubles. Redeman deals. Fastball strike inside corner, and it's 1-1. Roman Martin's over at third. Rock Chalowski, one of the best players in college baseball, is at short. Aiden Aguayo, swing and a miss. And it's 1-2. Is over at second. Mulavai Lavo is over at first base, and behind the plate, Cashel Duggar for the Bruins. The righty rocks and deals. That pitch is fouled off the right side and out of play. If you've never been to Jackie Robinson Stadium, it's not on the UCLA campus, just off of it, and on the other side of the freeway from Westwood and where the campus is. There's the pitch. Cued off the end of the bat, slow roller to first. Luvo picks it up, steps on the bag, and that will do it. A 3-up, 3-down top half of the first inning. We played a half inning from Los Angeles with the score. TCU nothing. UCLA coming to bat.
Psst. Yeah, you, it's me, your heart. Listen to me. We've got to talk. High blood pressure is serious, and yours? Whoa. What happened to us? We used to be so much more active. But lately you've been ignoring me. I know you think I'm just gonna keep ticking away forever, but you're wrong. You can do so much more to control your high blood pressure. Doing the minimum isn't doing enough. I'm under a lot of pressure and can quit whenever I want. Bet you didn't know that. But I like my job. Just treat me better. Check on me. Give me something green to nibble on every once in a while. And maybe we can do some exercise on occasion. Let's get to it. After all, we're in this together.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/blood pressure. Check, change, control. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
We get to the bottom half of the first inning here in L.A. On the mound for the Horned Frogs, the left-hander, Mason Brassfield.
Now, second start of the year for Brassfield, his first in the Friday night slot. 4 innings of work last week on Saturday night against Arkansas. Gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs. He struck out 6, walked 4 in a no decision. Obviously, TCU hung on to win that ball game. Chuck, you mentioned how important it is for him to get off on the right foot, especially if we saw from Redeman in the top half of the first inning. Going to be tough against this UCLA lineup.
This is definitely a UCLA lineup that can hit. They come in hitting .302 with 10 home runs, so not going to be an easy task for Brassfield tonight. Dean West, the left fielder, will lead it off. Rock Chalowski will bat second. He's over at short. Luvo is over at first base. He bats third. Roman Martin's at third, batting in the cleanup spot. Peyton Brennan in right field bats fifth, batting sixth. Aiden Aguayo over at second. Cashel Duggar's behind the plate, batting seventh, batting eighth. Will Gasparino in center field, and Jared Hawkins, the DH, batting in another number 9 spot. Dean West will lead it off. He has struggled so far, just 3 of 19. Bats from the left side, takes a breaking ball on the corner, strike one call. Brassfield delivers. Good pitch on the corner, and it's 0-2.
A really nice start for Brassfield. These first 2 pitches establishing that heater. Puts himself in an 0-2 count.
Brassfield to the wind. Here's the pitch from the lefty. Went to the breaking ball, but came out of his hand. Didn't do a whole heck of a lot as it stayed up off the glove of Traeger all the way back to the backstop, and it's 1-2. All grass facility here at Jackie Robinson Stadium with dirt infield. Tried to go back to the fastball, but missed outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes on West to start things off for UCLA here in the bottom half of the first of a scoreless ball game. Brassfield peering over the top of the glove, rocks and deals, misses again, and is full 3-2. So far, he's not found the grip on the breaking ball. We have to say there's almost no humidity here tonight, 7%, which means the baseball could feel a little slick, and Brassfield hasn't gone to his mouth to try and get some moisture on it. Strike 3 called, struck him out. Good pitch from Brassfield.
All these breaking balls up at the top of the strike zone. He's able to make the little adjustment to get this one just down into that strike zone, according to Ramon Armendariz behind the plate. That's a nice job of making that adjustment by Brassfield.
Well, now we'll have to deal with Rock Cholowski. A lot of people think he might be the #1 pick in the draft. In the running for Player of the Year in college baseball. And he's off to a pretty good start. Fastball taken away. Right-handed hitter. Cholowski hitting .438. A homer and 5 runs batted in. For Cholowski is 7 of 16 on the year. 2-0 count. Here's the pitch from Brassfield. Strike call. Good pitch.
So far, everything up around the letters for Brassfield. This one called a strike, maybe a shade high.
On the outside edge, that ball looked like it started out off the plate, came back over the outside corner. I think I misspoke. He has 3 home runs this year. The Chandler, Arizona product. Fisted foul right over our head and out of play. So the count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes on Cholowski with 1 out and the bases empty. Brassfield to the wind. Here's the pitch on the ground. Left side cut off by the TCU third baseman, and the throw to first just in time. And Gargett made a nice play on it. One hopped it to first base, and Rob Liddington did a good job of picking it out of the dirt.
Yeah, this is just a little bit of indecision by Gargett over at third base. He looked hesitant to go get that ball. Lucas Franco was coming over ready to make the backhanded play at shortstop. Gargett does the right thing, though, to take it, but then just hesitant with that throw. Dropped that right arm. Liddington on the back end able to bail him out. TCU gets the out, but just narrowly avoids the mistake.
Levi Lovu takes the first pitch for a strike. Lovu hitting .529 for the year. The lefty takes outside to even things up at 1-1. 9 for 17. It's a pretty good start. UCLA 3-1. They went 2-1 last week against UC San Diego. Pitch missed down, and then after losing Sunday, bounced back to clobber Tulane on Tuesday night, 13-5 here at Jackie Robinson Stadium. All of their games so far have been here at home. Brassfield deals, misses low. 3-1 count here on Lovu. Ripped back through the middle. Got on top of that pitch and just sent it right back from whence it came, and it's a 2-out single.
No, it's just a nice piece of hitting. It's a fastball that, again, Chuck, is up middle, and right about letter high. You said Lovu gets on top of it. Brassfield right now, no damage to this point, but you've got to start to adjust those sights a bit downward. Otherwise, it could be a long night for you. Lovu, a great hitter, puts this right back up the box.
He continues to swing a hot bat here in the early going. He's over at first base with Roman Martin, the third baseman, at the plate. And that first pitch is ripped into left field, base hit. And another pitch up around the belt. And all of a sudden, UCLA putting some good swings on these pitches from Brassfield. We saw a lot of this last weekend from the TCU pitching staff. They'd be able to get the first 2 outs rather easily, and then all of a sudden the bus would sputter just a little bit.
You know, and you're still in a spot where there's no damage done besides just additional pitches being thrown. But you know, the thing that you're a little bit more keenly paying attention to is the fact that, again, all of these pitches up above the belt in a dangerous hitting zone against a team that can do a lot of damage. 10 home runs already for this Bruin lineup.
Peyton Brennan, the right fielder, steps in. The lefty takes a breaking ball that misses outside, ball 1. Brennan hitting .267, does have a homer. Up now with runners at first and second, 2 away. Brassfield steps off and throws to Franco out at second. Actually threw it right at second base. He realized he had to throw the ball, and he just flipped it in the air. And it rolled all the way to the feet of Lavu out at second base. Lavu just kind of hit it with his foot while standing on the base. Brassfield delivers. This one's on the ground. Kramer makes a sliding grab to the backhand side, straightens up and throws, and gets the out over at first base. A nice play by Cole Kramer to save a run. And that will do it for UCLA here in the bottom half of the first. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. We played 1 with the score TCU nothing, UCLA nothing.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, game show host, father of 5, and all-around big dude. I'm also an expert on drama. I know all kinds of drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids. There's the bad kind, like season-ending injuries. There's the necessary kind, like having an agent in Hollywood. And there's silly drama, like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your high school diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org.
Or text diploma to 97779. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. That's diploma to 97779. And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ed Council.
Top half of the second inning here in Los Angeles. The sun's setting. We can see the mountains off behind the right field wall, along with all the palm trees and whatnot. Not too far from the city of Westwood or Beverly Hills. And as mentioned before, the stadium's off the campus. It's kind of west of the freeway and in a nice location, kind of sunk into a hole. Named after the great Jackie Robinson, went to school here with 2-sport star, actually a 3-sport star. He played track. He was a great running back in football, and then we all know about his baseball career if you're a baseball fan. Lucas Franco will lead it off for the Horned Frogs here, swinging and a miss. He was out in front of that pitch. Franco got off to a great start against Vandy last Friday night, but he's cooled off since, hitting just 154. Has a home run that came in that game against Vanderbilt, where he also doubled and flew out to deep center field. Breaking ball from Redmond, catches the inside corner, 0-2 on Lucas Franco. The righty working from the stretch here with the bases empty, now flips the hands over the head and brings the arm around. The pitch is taken down low.
Yeah, so far change up to the freshman Franco.
Interesting way that Redmond delivers. Here's the pitch on the way. Curveball tapped slowly to the right side. Lovu picks it up, flips over to first base, and they got him as Redmond was able to get there in time to cover the bag. It was hit very slowly. I thought Franco might have a shot at getting there in time.
Now this is almost a perfectly placed swinging bunt down that right side, in between the first baseman and pitcher, and it's close over there at first base. But Redmond just getting his foot in there. Bang bang play to start the second inning.
Rob Liddington Jr. will be the batter. He's off to a good start. 385 for him, takes the strike. Now, Redmond starts like he's in the stretch, brings the hands together at the belt, and with both hands, well, with his hand in the glove, brings them both over his head, and then rotates and fires, and it's 0-2 as Liddington swung through that pitch.
And that's a tighter slider there. He's got a slower curveball as well. It's a 4-pitch mix right now from the right-hander.
There's the 0-2 offering to Rob Liddington. Foul tipped into the glove of Duggar, and it's quickly 2 up and 2 down. So far, he's faced 5 batters. He's retired them all on a couple of ground balls and a couple of strikeouts. 2 outs, bases empty, and Nolan Traeger will step in for TCU. Traeger hitting just 100. Takes the strike on the inside corner. He's hit the ball hard a number of times, but has nothing to show for it. Foul back, and it's 0-2. It seems like since about halfway through the Arkansas game on Saturday, the TCU hitters have been behind every at-bat.
Taking a lot of early strikes, and it just oftentimes puts you in a hole, especially when you've got a strike thrower.
Missed off the plate, a ball and 2 strikes to Traeger with 2 outs and the bases empty. No score in the ball game. We're in the top of the second. The righty deals. That one's hit back towards the middle, not hit hard. The shortstop, Chalowski, was playing behind the bag. He actually makes the play about where the second baseman normally would be, and he throws over to first base for the final out of the inning. Another 3-up, 3-down inning for the Horned Frogs here. We're through an inning and a half with no score in the game between TCU and UCLA.
3 reasons to listen to KTCU instead of commercial radio. Number 1. You won't hear the same song 50 times in one day.
Gosh, don't you love the new Radiohead?
Yeah, it's like I notice something new every time I hear it.
They've played it on the Knife 27 times today, and I'm still not sick of it.
Number 2, no obnoxious morning DJs. Hey, Tex, you know what a really funny word is?
What's that, Larry?
Panties. Number 3. KTCU is an educational station.
By supporting KTCU, you're helping college students learn about running a radio station.
And if we slip up and say things like granola, we're less likely to get kicked off the air.
Jared, you can't say like that on the air.
Sorry.
Plus, you know, the music.
Yeah, that's good too.
So keep listening to FM 88.7, The Choice.
We head to the bottom half of the second inning here in Los Angeles. No score in the ball game. TCU and UCLA. Mason Brassfield needed 20 pitches to get through the first inning. Retired the first 2 rather easily, and then gave up back-to-back hits before retiring Brennan to end the frame. He'll face 6, 7, and 8 in the Bruin batting order here in the second inning. Aiden Aguayo, the second baseman, will lead things off for UCLA. 330 down both lines, 370 to straightaway the power alleys, and 395 to straightaway center field. First pitch from Brassfield misses for ball 1. When the sun is up, like it will be tomorrow when we play, and on Sunday, the ball carries reasonably well here. At night games, it usually doesn't carry quite as far. That pitch missed for ball 2. It's 2-0 on Aguayo, who's hitting 200 with a homer this year. Brassfield to the wind. Here's the pitch. Caught the outside corner to run the count to 2-1. When we were here years ago, I remember Luke and Baker hitting one that looked like it was going out for sure. And during BP, it would have been up in the palm trees. The pitch missed for a ball. And once the sun set, the ball was caught at the 370 side. It was just an idea how different the ballpark plays when the sun is up versus when the sun is down. Strike called at the top of the zone by home plate umpire Ramon Armendariz.
I know you've been doing this too long. That was Josh Elander you're talking about.
Was it?
Not Lucan.
One of those big guys. This ball well hit towards right center field. Stroh-Schneider on the run. He's not going to get to it. It's off the wall. Over there as well was Brunson. Brunson might have been the closest Horned Frog. It hit right next to his head. I don't know if he didn't see it off the bat or what, but it hit right to the left of the 370 sign.
Yeah, it did not look like a whole lot of communication out there in the outfield between Brunson and Stroh-Schneider. You heard Kirk Sarlos talk about it in a pregame show as well. You really kind of got two center fielders between those guys actually playing their roles in reverse from what they had done all season last year. But you're right, a little bit of an awkward footing out there at the wall. Turns into a double to lead things off at the bottom of the second.
Cashville Ducker, the catcher, takes ball one. Yeah, I was watching Stroh-Schneider, and I thought, well, that ball's going to go out or hit the wall. And then I saw Brunson flash across, and he was right next to it when it hit the fence. Fouled out of play off the left side. And even though they both can play center field, it's been Brunson for the most part who's been in center field, and you wouldn't think it would matter what spot you were in, but it certainly, the ball comes off the bat differently, and how you track it's different. Waves at a good pitch from Brassfield, and it's 1-2.
That's a really good point. Yeah, they're both fantastic athletes. They can make the adjustments, but it is two different positions out there. And yes, at the end of the day, you're catching fly balls and tracking them down, but there's a whole spin, the way that it comes off of the bat, it's all very real and different between those two spots.
Ball gets away from Traeger, and that's going to allow the runner to advance over to third base. That should be a pass ball. It looked like it just popped right out of Traeger's glove. Looked like a pitch that he could certainly handle, and I don't know if he was trying to squeeze it quickly or what. It is a pass ball, and now the TCU have to play the corner infield in. Try and cut the run off. The pitch is high. Full count, 3-2, and Brassfield wants a new baseball. And you can see how Kirk Sarlos and Bill Mosiello and Dave Lawn are thinking here as they pull the infield in at the corners and halfway up the middle trying to cut the run off. Swing and a miss, big strikeout by Brassfield. They realize that they do not want to fall behind here.
This pitch works out for Brassfield. It's a backup breaking ball that just stays above the strike zone, never comes down. Works to his advantage to get the strikeout. So TCU will bring the infield all the way in now, as Franco and Kramer come to the cut of the grass as well.
Will Gasparino, former Longhorn, comes to the plate. Takes the strike. Good pitch from Brassfield. Hitting .333, tied with Chalowski for the home run lead with 3. He's got 6 RBIs so far this season. Strike called. Spotted that one on the outside corner. Gasparino, 6'6", 200. Originally from L.A., went to Texas and now has decided to come back home. That pitch is taken off the plate. A ball and 2 strikes. Tried to get him to chase. Fisted back to the screen. The count stays a ball and 2 strikes. Last year, UCLA got it hot, went on a run. Everybody thought they were a year away from being a College World Series participant, but played really well. Line towards right field. That's going to be a base hit. Goes all the way into the corner. Over to pick it up is Brunson, scoring easily from third base is Aguayo, and UCLA is out to a 1-0 lead with a couple of doubles here in this inning. That's a pretty good piece of hitting by Gasparino, who picks up his 7th run batted in.
Talk about letting the ball get deep. This one's well off the plate, too. It's high, but it's far far enough off the plate, almost into the left-handed batter's box. You think it may be out of harm's way, but Gasparino poking it down that right field line. And you said it, Chuck, 2 doubles in the inning now. First run coming across the plate in this series.
That's where Gasparino's long arms at 6'6" come into play a little bit. Able to reach that baseball where others might not be able to get it. DH Jared Hawking at the plate. He's 0 for 2 on the year. And he takes the pitch for ball 1. Brassfield delivers, and that hits him. Second batter that Brassfield's hit this year. That puts runners at first and second, and also gets a mound visit from Kirk Sarlos. Lowe's heading towards the mound. The last thing he wants to do is have to get his bullpen up and working early in this game. Without Tommy Lepore available. Noah Franco not available either, and do not want to get into that pen early on a Friday night in any series, let alone one against the number 1 team in the nation.
Naturally, those are 2 of the options that you would have liked to have gone to on a Friday. In theory, as you're thinking about it, but quick mound visit as Kirk Sarlos trots back to the TCU dugout on the first base line.
4 hits already for UCLA in the game. Just 1 out here in the second. Bruins lead 1-0, looking for more with runners at first and second. Lucas Franco cheating up the middle. He's playing behind Gasparino. Now backs away just a little bit. Dean West takes the strike. He struck out looking back in the first inning. 0 for 1. Gargett, even with the bag off the line over at third. Here's the pitch, flipped in the air, down the left field line, slicing towards foul ground. Long run for the left fielder, Colton Griffin, who sells out, trying to make the catch on the side warning track, but couldn't get to it in time. And Griffin going all out to try and make the play.
Yeah, right-handed hitter, he might catch that, but with the left-handed hitting West, it's just got a natural tail away from him a little bit further into foul territory. It's just foul enough to be out of his reach.
0-2 pitch coming. One upstairs with a fastball, but missed. Brassfield brings the hands together and delivers. That ball's hit in the air, lined over the top of the outstretched glove of Franco, who jumped for it because he had an opportunity to possibly catch the line drive. Gasparino had a hold up, and he can only go as far as third base, but the bases are loaded for UCLA with only 1 out.
Well, they're loaded up for Rock Chalowski. As you talked about it, that on the short list for potential Golden Spikes winners, potential 1-1 pick in the draft, but an opportunity as well for Brassfield. Got him to ground out in his last at-bat. Potential to turn a double play here. Forces anywhere with the bases loaded.
That ball's hit to deep left field. Back goes the left fielder Griffin, and it's a grand slam for Rock Chalowski as he jumps on the first pitch, and it's 5-0 UCLA. Not the start that TCU needed. 4th home run of the year for Chalowski. He's now driven in 9. And just like the other night, and really against Oklahoma, the last 2 ball games, TCU falls behind big early. Levu takes the first pitch for ball 1. And Brassfield making his first Friday night start. Touched up for 5, and still only 1 out here in the inning. Kramer threw that pitch. There's already been one mound visit this inning, so it's going to be up to Brassfield to figure it out with nobody throwing in the TCU pen. Off the plate, ball 3. It's 3-0. Strike call. 3 balls and a strike on LaVue. Brassfield to the wind. Here's the pitch. Strike 2 called. Clip the outside corner. Full count on LaVue now. Lined in the left field, base hit. Stayed on that pitch, went the other way. 5th hit of the inning, 7th of the ball game. And now TCU is forced to get the bullpen busy.
You see with that swing why LaVue is also himself a top 100 draft prospect. Why he's continuing to hit above 500 now. 579 on the young season for him after a 2-for-2 start to this ball game. And for Brassfield, you've just got to try and adjust that height down for as long as you're in this game. Everything's been middle or up.
Roman Martin takes outside ball 1. Martin singled to left field last inning. Brassfield from the stretch. Strike call on the inside corner. And that's 1-1. Well, down 5 early. It will also change the strategy for Kirk Sarlos in terms of who he uses out of that bullpen, I'm sure. Breaking ball missed inside. He's got a lot of innings to cover between now and Sunday if he has to go to the pen this early. Fastball away. Brassfield's behind in the count, 3-1. He snaps at the pitch, the throw coming back from Traeger. Here's the 3-1 rip foul on the left field line, and they've gotten some pretty good swings off of Brassfield. And again, all of his pitches that they're swinging at are from between the belt and the letters.
Yeah, you know, when you've really fallen into that pattern where everything is up, you'll have hitters that are just salivating coming to the box. You're looking for something that's up like that, especially a 3-1 count. Not surprising to see Martin spin around on that one.
3-2 pitch, breaking ball, miss ball 4, and the inning continues on. 9th man to come to the plate here in this frame. Peyton Brennan will come to bat.
Tyler Fino starting to get hot in a hurry out there in the Horned Frog bullpen.
Brennan grounded to Kramer to end the first inning. Kramer made a nice play to the backhand side in order to retire the side. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball that was down the way. That's the first breaking ball we've seen. It started about belt high, but it ended up almost in the dirt, which is where he wants it. Another good pitch. And it was down. 0-2. Still only 1 out here in the inning. Brassfield gets the side. Looks at the runner out at second base. Here's the pitch. Fouled Brassfield off the fist back to the screen. It'll stay no balls and 2 strikes on Brennan. Brassfield delivers on the ground. Franco has it, goes to second for 1. That's all they'll get. It was a 2-hopper. Franco had to move to his backhand side to field it. Only had 1 play. That was the second. They get the out. Runners at first and third. And here comes Kirk Sarlos. And that will be it for Brassfield. Well, Brassfield's night is done here in the second inning. New pitcher coming on. We'll tell you all about him when we get back from this 60-second timeout. You're listening to One Frog Baseball on KTCU.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Who, me? Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Well, TCU forced to go to the bullpen early here in Los Angeles as they bring on the right-hander, Tyler Fino.
Now, sophomore makes his 3rd appearance of the year already for the Horned Frogs. 1 inning of work in the aggregate out of the bullpen for Fino on the season. 6 hits allowed and 3 earned runs in that time. Does have a strikeout through a 1/3 of an inning against Oklahoma, 2/3 of an inning on Tuesday night against UTA. And he's called upon here, Chuck, to try and stop the bleeding UCLA offensive onslaught here in the bottom half of the second.
They roughed up the starter, Mason Brassfield, here in this inning. An inning and 2/3 total for Brassfield. 7 hits, 5 runs, all earned. He leads with property on base, 2 strikeouts, a walk. He hit a batter and ended up throwing 60 pitches while he was in the game. So for the second game in a row, TCU's opponent has batted around early in a ball game. On Tuesday night, we saw it in the first inning as UTA plated 9 men, sending 12 men to the plate in that inning. The 10th man to bat here in this frame, Aiden Aguayo, will come to the plate. He started the inning off with a double off the right center field wall. Runners at first and third, 2 outs. Fino's pitch missed outside, ball 1. Brennan's over at first after the fielder's choice. LaVue is over at third base. Aguayo bats for the second time in the inning. On the ground to third, gloved by the TCU third baseman Gargetti, throws across the diamond in time to retire the side for the out. But the damage done as UCLA scores 5 runs. They come on 5 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left on base. We played 2 full with a score UCLA 5, TCU nothing.
Lawn Smith Roofing, consistency and workmanship. Since 1974, Lawn Smith Roofing has been serving the Dallas-Fort Worth area's roofing needs. With offices conveniently located in Dallas and Fort Worth, Lawn Smith Roofing has you covered. For more information about how Lawn Smith Roofing can help you with your roofing needs, give them a call at 877-752-0766 or visit their website at lawnsmith.com. That's LON Smith.com. Lawn Smith Roofing, proud sponsor of TCU Baseball.
I am on want to thank my mommy for loving me so much,
For taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot.
For leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for taking you to your therapies, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We go to the third inning here in Los Angeles. It's been all Bruins to this point, 5-0 UCLA. And Horned Frogs will send up the bottom third of their batting where they have yet to get a base runner. As Logan Reddeman has really pitched well. He's thrown just 25 pitches to this point, retiring all 6 men that he's faced. And for TCU, they've got to start to generate some traffic on the base paths. And we talked about it in the pregame. This was like the worst case scenario for TCU to fall behind early again.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy because now you fall behind by margin of 5. There's still plenty of game left, but you start to take a little bit more pitches early in the count. He's only at 25 as Reddeman. You're trying to jack that up a little bit as Dallimore fouls the first ball off back to the screen. But then you fall behind in counts, and then we see the same thing again where we're potentially chasing pitches up out of the strike zone, things like that.
Reddeman deals, swing and a miss. Pull the string on him. 0-2 on Dallimore, who's looking for his first college base hit. He's 0 for 8. Las Vegas product. Lays off that breaking ball away. And if you're Logan Reddeman, you can just rock back and fire. You've got a 5-run cushion here early in this game. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Threw him a change-up and had him way out in front. Third strikeout for Reddeman.
That's a 4-pitch mix, and it's been 4 good pitches so far. Has that tighter slider, a bigger breaking ball than the changeup that we've seen him throw as well. And that's in addition to a 95 to 98 mile an hour fastball.
Caius Gargett at the plate. First pitch swing, hits it well towards the left field line. Going over to try and make the play is the left fielder West, but it ends up in foul territory by a couple of feet. That sure looked close from here. Of course, we don't have the angle on it, but Gargett making a bid for an opposite field extra base hit.
It stayed so true for so long down that left field line, and there had to have been just a margin of maybe a foot or less between where that baseball came down. Gargett being aggressive early in count, but just a tick late on that one.
John DeLora talking to Luis Hernandez, the third base umpire, after the call. Gargett takes a strike on the outside edge, and it's 0-2. Hit sharply through the right side, base hit. So Gargett picks up the first single of the night for the Horned Frogs, or the first base hit for TCU. And it'll bring up the 9-hole hitter Colton Griffin, who will come to the plate for the first time this year.
That's a nice job by Gargett. This is a changeup that's away. And he lets that travel enough. He's able to get his barrel to it, hit that hard. Back shooted to the right side, up the middle.
Griffin takes outside, ball 1. Colton had a pretty good year for the Horned Frogs last year. Swing and a miss, had a big cut. But that pitch came up empty. And the count goes to 1-1. As we've said the other night, the last couple of games, actually, for TCU, you don't have to get them all back in one inning, but you want to start to make some inroads into the 5-run deficit. Backdoor breaking ball stayed away. And the count go to 2 balls and a strike. Came out of his shoes on that swing, and it's 2-2. I don't know, he was trying to put 2 on the board there.
Now, both of these swings from Griffin, he's almost fallen over.
And that's not really his game. Redderman ready on the mound, comes set at the belt. Foul back. That was a more of a under control swing by Griffin. You know, you talked about the deficit and what it does. Not only does it mean what you were talking about, with TCU's probably going to take more pitches, but it takes the running game basically out of the equation right now. You have to play station-to-station baseball. Gargetto runs well. Really can't go anywhere. He's kind of got to stay put. We've seen some of the speed that he has. He doesn't have a stolen base, but base hit. Right field. So Colton Griffin comes up with a base hit, and TCU's got a little something going here with 1 out in the 3rd.
No, it's a nice job by Griffin hanging around in that at-bat against the right arm of Redmond's. Been fantastic tonight. His first at-bat of the season. Fouled off a couple of pitches, swung through a couple, and was able to flush that, able to muscle this through the right side. And a couple of men on with 1 out here. TCU, their first real scoring opportunity.
And now you flip the order over for Kramer and Strohschneider, and a chance to get back in this game pretty quickly. Chalowski hit the big grand slam last inning. TCU's Golden Spikes watch list players in the on-deck circle. Redderman deals, and there's a strike to Kramer. Cole struck out looking on a pitch he thought was low back in the 1st inning. Rung up by home plate umpire Ramon Almendarez. Off the end of the bat, foul, 0-2. Well, if you're Cole Kramer, this is where you just kind of cut down on the swing and try to do what he does best, which is go the other way. See if you just can't keep the line moving. These things are pretty good. Little hand warmers, Brandy just gave us these little electric hand warmers. Battery operated hand warmers. It's pretty good. And yes, it is that cold here that we need the hand warmers. Fastball missed up high. And the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. I have to get me some of these.
We'll try and get you an NIL deal.
With the hand warming manufacturer, I'll take it. Well hit towards right center field. Brunson on the run. This ball's out of here. Second home run of the game for Chalowski. Well, you can see why he is considered the favorite to be the #1 pick in the draft. And the Golden Spikes Award winner. That's already his 5th home run of the season. He's now driven in 10. And he's got 5 RBIs tonight. And that was a rocket to the opposite field.
Now it's a pitch that's up and out. He just went right with it, drilled it off of the hitting facility out beyond right field at Jackie Robinson Stadium. It's 108 off the bat the other way. It's a big league swing.
Strike call. Mulavai Lavu. 3 for 3 for Lavu. 3 singles. 2 of them going up the middle, 1 to left field. And all he's done to this point of the season is hit 600. 12 out of 20.
That's 12 for 20 with 0 strikeouts to this point as well. This gives you a sense of the awareness for the strike zone and ability to put bat to ball.
Hits this one well to left field. Going back, Colton Griffin at the track, at the wall. That ball is off the fence. Griffin picks it up, throws back into the infield. But Lavu standing on second base with a double and his 4th hit of the night. His 2nd double of the year, and the hits keep coming for these Bruins. 13 of them now. And as good as Durning was looking, he got to this part of the order and he's running into smack dab into trouble.
Well, it's just that part of the order that just, they don't miss mistakes, and that's what you see. They're able to hang around and count until that pitch is left up or out over the plate. Ball 1. Down to Roman Martin here. He takes low.
Martin's got a couple of hits. And he's also drawn a walk. Been on base 3 times tonight. Bounced in the dirt. Now you can see Kate Durnin leery of coming back in the strike zone. That's what happens when you're a young pitcher and you get roughed up a little bit. All of a sudden you don't want to leave one out over the plate. You're trying to be a little too cute and you miss. Traeger out to the mound to talk to Durnin. One out, runner at second base. And they are waiting for the home plate umpire, Ramon Armendariz, to come on out to the mound to break up the conversation. Once he got out there, Traeger turns around and heads back behind home plate. Well, I think that's just a matter of buying as much time as he can to settle him down. TCU does get their bullpen busy. Two balls, no strikes on Roman Martin. There's the pitch way outside. 3-0 count. Durnin delivers. There's a strike. It's 3-1. gets the sign, brings the hands together. Checks on the runner at second and delivers way outside, ball 4. Now put runners at first and second with 1 out and bring up Peyton Brennan, who's 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and struck out. Now here comes Kirk Sarlos out of the TCU dugout. First mound visit of the inning for Sarlos. Let's see if he decides to take the ball here from Durnan or let him stay in the game to face Brennan. Sarlos is talking directly to Cade Durnan here. Doesn't appear to want to remove him from the game at this point, but he may be buying some more time for the relief corps to warm up. And now he is going to take the ball. So Durnan departs. New pitcher coming on for TCU. We'll tell you who it is when we get back from this 60-second timeout.
Meet Designated Dave.
Hey, Dave, my main man. What's going on, bro?
Dave provides a valuable service to college students.
Hi. I just got a call from Amber. She said she needs a ride home.
Yeah. Hold on a sec. Amber!
Designated Dave is always on call, ready to lend a helping hand to kids who are too impaired to drive safely.
Whoa, no beer phone without me.
Hey, Amber.
Dave, I am so wasted right now.
You don't say.
Dave doesn't ask for a fare.
Dave?
Yes, Amber?
He doesn't even mind if you Ralph on his upholstery.
I love you.
That's nice, Amber.
But Designated Dave can't be everywhere at once. So if you're planning on drinking, be sure to plan ahead. Make sure there's a designated driver with you, or have someone ready to give you a ride.
Oh my God, I love this song.
This message is brought to you by your friends at KTCU.
Trevor Baumler comes into the game for the Horned Frogs here, replacing Cade Durnan.
A second time out of the bullpen for Baumler. The right-handed sophomore worked an inning against Oklahoma this past Sunday, Chuck, and it was a tough one for him. Just 1 inning of work, 3 hits allowed, 6 runs, 5 of them were earned. He had a couple of walks. Oklahoma batted around in that inning that he was a part of, seeing 10 batters. So he's looking to right the ship a little bit here. Opportunity for Kirk Sarlos, 8-1 ball game here in the bottom of the 5th. That he's able to see some more arms, try and get some guys out there and see who's going to take over in different roles for this TCU bullpen.
Yeah, no doubt. And also for Baumler, he tried to get him back out on the horse as quickly as possible. Maybe have a better outing here tonight. The Frogs counting on him after his performance last year, and he replaces Cade Durnan, who goes an inning and 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run to this point. Leaves with property on base, a strikeout, a walk, 35 pitches for Durnan. Peyton Brennan, first batter that Baumler will face. And he takes a strike. Up for the 3rd time in the game, well, 4th time in the game, and he's seen 3 different pitchers. Slider missed down low. A ball and a strike on the left-handed hitting Brennan. 1 out. Runners at first and second. 8-1. UCLA with the lead. TCU playing the infield at double play depth. Way back over his first base, cut on a miss, took a little something off, and had him out in front.
It's a really nice breaking ball in there for Baumler. Goes all the way back to the backstop. And
Both runners will advance. Looks like it was in the dirt right around home plate and got right through the wickets of Nolan Traeger. Wild pitch. Charge to Baumler. And another one that gets behind Traeger, and the run will score. Back-to-back wild pitches. And it's now 9-1.
Well, not sure what happened with both of those. This one didn't look too wild. A breaking ball that was down and, frankly, in the strike zone.
3-2 pitch. Foul back. He had a big cut. TCU bringing the infield in here with one out and a runner over at third base. A run in. Actually, 2 runs in the inning. The Chalowski home run earlier in the frame. Bouncer to short. Franco knocked it down, picks it up, and then has no place to go with it once he gets the handle on it. And the sure-handed Franco, I think he was caught in between whether he should go home or whether he should throw to first.
Yeah, this is just very classic case, Chuck. A freshman who, as you said, has been so sure-handed. He just had his eyes on the base runner at third base before fielding that ball and not able to corral it cleanly, which renders there being no play anywhere. And the inning continues. First and third now, 1 out.
TCU backs the infield up. They'll try and turn a double play to get out of the inning with Aiden Aguayo at the plate. He's got a double and grounded out twice. Fouls this one out of play towards the TCU bullpen. And that's one of the other things that happens when you're down by a lot of runs in the middle or tail end of the ball game. You know, you just make mistakes. That are not things that you normally would do. On the ground to third. Gargett goes to second for 1. Over to first. The throw from Kramer's wild, and a run will score. Get the out at second, but the throwing error by Kramer.
Number 40, Cash Duggar.
Allows the runner to reach base, although they won't charge him with an error because you can't assume the double play, but it'll be a fielder's choice. But I think Kramer would tell you that's an error. He had the double play in his back pocket.
Yeah, it sure did. You know, it's a long way to go around the diamond with that going to Caius Gargett at third base, but you know, these types of plays you just can't give up to the number 1 team in the country, especially as how good they're hitting the baseball.
Cut on and missed. Cashel Duggar has a double and a single tonight. He's also struck out 13 hits for UCLA tonight to go along with their 10 runs. This ball well hit to center field. Strohschneider back, has room, turns around at the fence, makes the catch for the final out of the inning. UCLA picks up 3 more runs. The 3 runs come on 2 hits. There was an error and a man left on base for UCLA. We will head to the 6th inning. All Bruins 10-1.
Yeah, you, it's me, your heart. Listen to me. We've got to talk. High blood pressure is serious, and yours? Whoa. What happened to us? We used to be so much more active. But lately, you've been ignoring me. I know you think I'm just gonna keep ticking away forever, but you're wrong. You can do so much more to control your high blood pressure. Doing the minimum isn't doing enough. I'm under a lot of pressure and can quit whenever I want. Bet you didn't know that. But I like my job. Just treat me better. Check on me. Give me something green to nibble on every once in a while. And maybe we can do some exercise on occasion. Let's get to it. After all, we're in this together.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. High blood pressure can lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get your blood pressure to a healthy range before it's too late. Find out how at heart.org/blood pressure. Check, change, control. A message from the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Okay, fans, it's time to reveal the UCLA baseball trivia answer presented by FactSet.
New pitcher on for UCLA as they go to the bullpen and bring on a left-hander, Ian May.
Ian May on for the third time out of the UCLA bullpen. So far this year, he's worked 4 2/3 innings, just given up 3 hits, 1 earned run, and 8 strikeouts to go with 1 walk. Opponents hitting about 176 against him, so another good arm for the Bruins. And if you know anything about the history of UCLA baseball, Chuck, they can pitch, and they're certainly showing that tonight. A great start by Logan Redeman.
Yeah, Redeman ends up going 5 innings, allows 5 hits, just 1 run, 10 strikeouts, a walk, and he threw 85 pitches. And, you know, you say that, and that's been John Savage's calling card, is finding pitching. You go back to 2010, when TCU played him up in Omaha. They had 2 of the best pitchers in baseball, and Garrett Cole, who turned out to be all right. Trevor Bauer also on that staff. And then their bullpen was great as well. So he's always had great pitching, but now he's combined that with an really electric offense. And that's why everybody thinks that they're favorites to win the whole thing this year. Lucas Franco will lead it off against Ian May. The lefty deals. That pitch is pulled, and it floats into right field for a base hit. So for the first time since all the way back on opening day, Lucas Franco has himself a base hit.
Well, that's got to feel good for the freshman. We talked about the different patterns that he'd been facing, getting pitched backwards a little bit. Left-on-left matchup against a really good pitcher in May, just hooking this one into shallow right field.
Rob Liddington Jr. will be the batter. He has a base hit. He's also struck out. Pulls this one foul. Stopped in foul ground by Roman Martin. Made a nice play on it, but a foul ball. You know, we talked when TCU gave up the 5 spot in the bottom half of the second inning that they had to try and hold the game right there. Since then, they've given up 5 more. This game has gotten one-sided. Now, if you're a TCU fan or a TCU player here, you just got to go out there and try to swing and a miss by Liddington. Try and think about one swing at a time, one pitch at a time, and finish the game off with something positive that you can build on for tomorrow's contest. Still 2 more games to be played against the Bruins here. Pitch missed down and in. It's a ball and 2 strikes on Liddington. It looked like May dropped down, almost sidearm that time. The lefty comes set at the belt, throws over to first base. Franco scampers back, standing up. May, a redshirt senior, 6'3", 190 from Laguna Beach. Pull foul by Liddington. And out in front of that pitch, a ball and 2 strikes. It will remain. Doesn't look 6'3" from here.
What does he look to you then?
6 foot.
6 foot even. Off the plate. That'll leave things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. All the Bruins wear their pant legs up. Old school style, showing the stirrups. I like that look. Rather than the long pants that most players wear today. Foul by Liddington. He's been impressive. The way he handles the bat. Comes into this at bat hitting an even 400. Hit well last year at Incarnate Word, and he's continued that success here with the Horned Frogs in the early part of the season. May delivers. This pitch is popped in the air. Shallow right field. Long run for the second baseman, Aguayo, who's playing towards second. He's able to make the catch near the line. He had a lot of real estate to cover.
That's a tough play by Aguayo and an awkward angle for him as well. He caught that with his body facing the right field foul pole almost. I'm going to reach back over his head, but able to corral that for the first out here at the top of the 6th.
Nolan Traeger will be the batter with 1 out and 1 on. He's grounded to short and struck out. Franco working his way off the first base bag. Novu holding him on. Maybe she gets some batting tips while he's over there.
It's not a bad guy to get it from with the way things are going. 4 for 4 through the 5th inning for him.
Good breaking ball on the inside corner to Traeger, and that's 1-1. Ian May comes set at the belt. Lefty delivers, pull foul into the TCU dugout. Stay a ball and 2 strikes. When you hit a rough patch like the Frogs have over the last few ball games, you just have to keep grinding it out. Knowing full well if the talent is there, it's going to turn in your favor at some point. Pull foul again. This time, Jake Silverman will play it over in the first base coaching box. Another 1-2 pitch coming to Traeger. Q shot off the end of the bat, foul, but not by a whole lot down the third base line.
No, that had some wicked spin on it. Almost took a hard right turn back into fair territory.
There's the pitch on the way. Traeger throws the head of the bat out at it, and it's going to in the air right to Chalowski at shortstop. 2 outs. Franco remains over at first base, and the batter will be Brady Dallimore. 0 for 10 with 6 strikeouts. He's just been in one of those slumps. He just can't seem to get out of it. To start his college career, and takes a pitch on the outside corner. Strike 1 call.
Lefty ready on the mound. Here's the pitch on the way. Dallimore swings and misses. Pitch up around the letters. Count on Dallimore with 2 outs and Franco over at first base. Way outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Tried to get him to chase.
He's been really susceptible to that fastball that's up. Swinging underneath a lot of pitches. Got to see this thing down.
May ready. Here's the 1-2. Chop to the left side. Cut off by Martin, the third baseman. The throw to first is in time for the final out of the inning. For TCU, no runs a hit. They leave a man. We have played 5.5 here from Jackie Robinson Stadium with the score UCLA 10, TCU 1.
The College of Communication here at TCU offers the ever-growing and always in-demand major of sports broadcasting.
Many ask, what exactly is taught in the sports broadcasting major? This popular field of study caters to us students that want to learn the skills to produce live and remote sporting events for both radio and television.
We acquire the skills to put together sports programming at the professional level, and we then use this new expertise to produce games you can watch on ESPN Plus or listen to right here on KTCU.
In addition to the hands-on experience, we also develop analytical skills to discuss and understand the social and cultural roles that sports play in countries around the globe.
If you would like more information on a rewarding degree in sports broadcasting here at TCU, please visit ftdm.tcu.edu.
Gasparino will lead it off for UCLA as we start the bottom half of the 6th inning against Trevor Baumler. We recorded the final 2 outs of the bottom half of the 5th inning. It'll be Gasparino and then Hawking in the top of the order here in the inning for UCLA.
Leading out for the Bruins, center fielder, number 9, Will Gasparino.
Gasparino has a double. He's also walked and flown out to Brunson in right field. Tries to bunt his way on, offered at the pitch down and away. Good pitch from Baumler. Infield back. Gargett. Even with the bag hit right at him and he knocks it down. Has to pick it up and then he throws wild. But the play is made over at first base. Nice play by Liddington as he came off the bag, made the catch and the tag.
Now, Liddington has proven to be a really nice fail-safe on the back end of some of these. We've seen him make some really good saves on some errant throws. This is one that Gargett knocks down and goes down to then pick it up with his glove again. The hip flies open, and as does that throw.
Gargett's made some really nice plays over at third. As we have seen Lucas Franco, both of them misplaying easy ground balls tonight.
Really, it's just been a few throws from Gargett.
First pitch missed for ball 1 to Jared Hawking. Popped up behind home plate. That will end up in the seats. Not a lot of foul ground behind home plate here at Jackie Robinson Stadium. Oh, but you're right about Liddington. I mean, he is a true first baseman. He's played there a lot. Made a couple of nice plays on balls in the dirt. He's had 2 plays like similar to the one he had just now. He had one at Globe Life last week where he came off the bag. We thought he might have gotten hurt because of the way he got run into, but he was okay. Strike called. And It's 1-2. And I remember the last couple of years, TCU really hasn't had a true first baseman. So it's been kind of a combination of, Curtis Byrne at one point and Carson Bowen, guys who were catchers converted to first baseman. But in the case of Liddington, he's a first baseman who is by trade.
I don't even want to know what you said about me then.
You should hear what I said about you. I think I got the tapes if you want to hear them.
I've heard enough.
Line back through the middle, that'll sneak through for a base hit. I don't think I said too many bad things.
No, you probably started talking about my grades a lot, which is not a good thing for it being a baseball game.
Yeah, I think I was somewhat kind and considerate. I think I was
somewhat kind and considerate. We'll chalk it up. Somewhat kind and considerate.
Yes,
that's a fair way to put it.
I think I said he doesn't look like he knows what he's doing over there, but that is true. he's an outfielder. Got to give him some leeway.
It does though when you see somebody playing first base that is. It's very simple looking over there and smooth. There's a lot more going on than what meets the eye.
Pitch missed inside for a ball to Dean West. That's 1-0. Yeah, first base looks like it's a simple position to play. You go over there, you catch the ball, they throw it to you, you catch it. But there's footwork, there's positioning, there's... You said it, whether you go for a ball, don't go for a ball.
It's a different set of skills.
Foul back to the left side. Traeger gives it a look, but he'll run out of room.
Yeah, and that was one of the hardest transitions, too, is the decision point of which balls can I go after if they're hit to my right. Because if it's something that I really shouldn't offer at and I should let the second baseman go, but I take a dive at it, there's nobody in a bad place. There's nobody there. And that's one facet of it.
And that just comes with playing there. The more you play, and you can see Liddington's very comfortable around the bag. And
really good instincts. You get the feel for it, yeah.
Yep. When to come off. The pitch missed inside like that last throw. He immediately recognizes, he did the one thing that you can tell a regular, a person who's played a lot of first base does. As soon as the throw was errant, he didn't try to stretch for it. He just immediately came towards home plate to catch it. Missed outside, 3-1 count on West. And oftentimes, you'll see a first baseman just who's not comfortable there try to stretch and keep a foot on the base. And fouled out of play. It's full, 3-2.
Not to mention the way that you practice picks and balls in the dirt. You get a coach out at second base with a fungo bat, and he's hitting balls as hard as he possibly can at you.
Yeah.
I had to get some dental work done in college.
Get some teeth damaged. There goes the runner from first. The pitch is taken upstairs. Ball 4. Runners at first and second. And Rock Cholowski coming up to the plate. Once again, he's been on base 3 to 4 times he's been up. The Frogs did a good job to retire him in the first inning. They got him a ground out. But since then, he's homered twice and been hit by a pitch. He had a big swing there, and he fouled it off at Traeger. Cholowski doesn't get cheated.
No, he sure did. And both him and Traeger are shaken up after that. Not quite sure what happened. And Traeger obviously just making sure that the pitch comm is still situated inside his helmet. But Cholowski bending over like something maybe twinged in his legs.
He swung as hard as he could at it. Pitch up around the letters. umpire buying some time for both of them to kind of recover. But Chalowski, you're right, he's still kind of trying to work things out in the lower extremities. But now he's ready back in the box. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Baumler. This low. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. Well, he's lived up to the billing to this point. Pull foul into the near side of the UCLA dugout. And Chalowski walking out of the batter's box, still not walking smoothly. He seems to be shaking his legs and I wouldn't say limping, but certainly hesitant. 1-2 pitch. Foul back, and again, it's another big swing. They keep stretching. I don't know if it's like a hamstring or something that he tweaked, and now he's going to go over to the bench. Doesn't go all the way over there. But coaching staff, they're looking on with a little trepidation.
It almost looks like it's lower back, just with the way that he's moving around. Lower back, maybe front leg, hamstring. It's something in that.
Certainly, if you tweak your back, you'll get that shooting pain down your legs. Could be why he keeps shaking his legs when he backs out. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out. And he's still not walking quite right as he goes back to the dugout. Louisville will come up. All he's done is come up 4 times and gotten 4 hits, 3 singles and a double. He's driven in a run, scored a run. Pitch missed down and in. And with the swings he's taken, I'm surprised he's only hitting .619. And somebody's actually gotten him out a handful of times. There's a strike from Baumler, and it's 1-1. Baumler's only allowed 1 hit through an inning and a third. That was the base hit earlier this inning by Hocking. In the air, right field, the crowd oohed and ah, but it's not deep at all. Right center, Brunson camps underneath, makes the catch for the final out of the inning. We have gotten through 6 innings with a score, UCLA 10, TCU 1.
Today, my new dad threw a barbecue.
Today, my new son and I threw a barbecue.
There were burgers and chicken.
I burnt everything. The burgers, the chicken, the salad.
They were delicious.
They were awful.
And then we had watermelon.
I'm allergic to watermelon.
And then we played catch.
I broke Mr. Lewis's window, Mrs. Wakeham's window, Mrs. Wakeham's windshield, and then somehow my hand. My hand!
And then my dad even let me drive his car.
The hospital's on the right! It was a rough day.
It was a great day.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Ian May needed 18 pitches to get through the 6th inning. He allowed a base hit to the Horned Frogs, but no runs. He'll face 8, 9, and 1 here in the TCU batting order as we start the 7th inning. It's been all UCLA in this one. We were scoreless through the first inning and a half. Then UCLA struck for 5 runs. The big blow, the grand slam off the bat of Rock Cholowski, who was a little late arriving back on the scene after going into the dugout, tweaking something in his last at-bat when he struck out. Brandy just said it a moment ago. I'm a little surprised they'd even leave him in the game on a cold night. You know, why not get him out of there at 10-1? Here's the first pitch of the inning. It's outside, ball 1 to Gargett. Caius has a base hit. He's also tried to bunt his way on. Bunted it right back to the pitcher. Lefty deals outside. The switch hitter batting from the right side here with the lefty. A lot of the patrons departing the scene here with the score pretty one-sided in favor of UCLA, and being chilly. Gargett sends it back up the middle, base hit. Second hit of the night for Caius. His average now up over 300, 333. Colton Griffin will be the batter. Griffin 2 for 3, has a couple of singles. Struck out back in the 4th, or 5th, rather. Griffin takes a breaking ball for a strike on the outside corner. Chopper right side, fielded by the first baseman, underhands to the pitcher. It was late getting there. May a little tardy, and Griffin able to beat it out.
Well, this just couldn't be placed in a better spot. If Colton Griffin rolled it out there exactly where you would want a bunt to the right side as well, and it turns into a foot race, and it is bang bang at first.
An infield hit for Colton Griffin, and now the umpires are going to get together to take a look at this. The umpires will get together and review this play over at first base.
Yeah, it's that play where the first baseman's got to come off, but directly to his right, and then it becomes a foot race between the pitcher and the batter runner. And it's ultimately just whoever gets to the bag first. In real time, bang, bang. As we're getting a little look at it here, it looks like the left foot of May might have come down on first base ahead of Colton Griffin, which would overturn the call.
Now it does look like the pitcher's foot gets to the bag just ahead of the toe of Griffin getting to the first base, the green bag that he has to run to. And I would think that this play will be overturned, and Griffin will be out. Over at first base, at least the look we're getting on it. Here come the umpires to tell us what they think. And the runner is out over at first base. We have to be sitting in the booth where they look at the replay so we know what they're looking at specifically.
You didn't have to say that. Nobody would have known.
Well, I didn't want to.
We got one right.
Well, I didn't want people to think we were all of a sudden getting smart. We're fortunate to have
We're 1 for 762 in our career.
That's right. Pitch missed outside to Kramer, ball one. Maybe that's what we need to do, sit in the booth with the guy all the time.
See, that would require us sitting underneath the dugout at home, though, wouldn't it?
No, that's where the umpires look at it. We could backdoor breaking ball, although they run the replays from the Mowdy building back home, so we'd have to go across campus. Kramer chops it off the plate, foul, and a ball and 2 strikes on Cole. Kramer tonight has walked and struck out twice. It's been that kind of night for TCU that even the bang-bang plays over at first base not going the Horned Frogs' way. May delivers, cut on and missed, 2-away. Now Kramer strikes out for the 3rd time in the game. Frogs have struck out a lot tonight. 11 strikeouts for TCU this evening. Sawyer Strohschneider, 1 for 3 at a base hit to right center field his last time up. Shows bunt, pulls the bat back. There goes the runner from second, and he's just able to get back as Gargett wandered pretty far off the bag.
Yeah, way off second base, anticipating Strohschneider to put a bunt on the ground, but there's nowhere for Caius to go in a 10-1 ball game with 2 outs here. Already in scoring position, just needs to make sure he stays safe.
Swing and a miss. 1-1 count. Now on Sawyer Strohschneider, who's out in front of that pitch. Stroh again showing bunt, takes a breaking ball down and away. And the reason he's showing bunt is Martin, the third baseman, is behind the bag and way, way off the line. If Stroh gets the bunt down the third base line, he'll be running for quite a while. No chance to get him. Waves at a breaking ball, and it's 2-2. Two out, runner at second base for the Horned Frogs. Trailing by 9 here in the top of the 7th. May delivers and misses low and away for a ball. It's full 3-2 on Sawyer Strohschneider. May ready on the mound. Here's the pitch to Stroh. Missed inside. Ball 4. Tried to bring the breaking ball over the inside corner. Started at the hip, but never got all the way to the inside part of the plate.
Yeah, one of those just surprises everybody. Everything was away to Strohschneider that whole at bat. This one back inside that I think surprised both Sawyer and the home plate umpire, but definitely a ball inside.
John Savage coming out the dugout over to the mound to talk to Ian May here. And that's going to be it for May. All his teammates have come out of the dugout. I'm assuming they're there to greet him, and here comes the new pitcher out of the bullpen for the Bruins. So a new pitcher coming on for UCLA. We'll tell you who it is after we get back from this timeout. You're listening to Horned Frog Baseball on KTCU.
Hi, I'm Kelly Clarkson, and I've toured the country dozens of times, and there's one thing every state has in common: childhood hunger. The sad truth is that 17 million kids don't know where their next meal is coming from, or if it's even coming at all. Yet there are billions of pounds of surplus food around the country at farms and warehouses that could help end this injustice. But all that food is useless if it doesn't get where it needs to go. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks gathers surplus food and gets it to hungry kids before it goes to waste. But they can't do it without your help. Join me in supporting Feeding America and your local food bank. Find out how at feedingamerica.org. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're Feeding America.
To help solve hunger in your community and to find your local food bank, visit feedingamerica.org. That's feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The Bruins go to their bullpen here in the bottom half of the second with 2 outs and a runner out at second base for the Horned Frogs, and they call on the right-hander, Cal Randall.
Well, back to another right-hander for John Savage's club. Just a third of an inning of work for Cal Randall this year, making his third appearance out of the bullpen. He's given up 2 earned runs, a couple of walks, a strikeout. No hits allowed yet this year for Randall, but into the ball game now. Takes over for the left-hander, Ian May.
May ends up going an inning and 2/3, allows a couple of hits, no runs, does leave with property on base, a strikeout, a walk, and 33 pitches thrown for the lefty. So Randall will finish up his warm-up tosses here and then face Chase Brunson. With a long home run back in the 4th inning. He's also struck out grounded to first base in his other plate appearances. So 1 for 3 for Brunson tonight. Hitting .412 on the year. Randall deals. Here's the first pitch. Almost hit him in the head. He had a duck underneath it.
We never worked with any jerks or anything. Never.
The righty Randall comes set. There's the pitch on the way. Brunson takes a strike on the outside corner. 90-mile-an-hour pitch on the edge of the plate. Runners at first and second for the Horned Frogs here. Schneider aboard over at first. Gargett out at second base. Brunson's accounted for the only TCU run in the game so far with the home run. And he's ahead in the count here, 2-1. Time called. John Savage coming out of the dugout and yelling for time. He's going to go out to the mound. I don't know if he saw something in that delivery that he wants the trainer to come out with him, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. And the trainer's coming out with John Savage as well. I don't know if he saw something from Randall that made him think that he might have been injured on that last delivery. But the trainer and Savage get out there at the same time, say a word or two, and then turn around and head back to the dugout. 2 balls and a strike on Brunson here. That pitch in the dirt goes all the way back to the backstop. Both runners will advance 90 feet. Second and third now for the Frogs. With 2 outs and a base hit here, will score 2 for TCU. Wild pitch charge to Randall. Robinson lays off, ball 4, and they're loaded. No chance for TCU to feel a little bit better about themselves if they can pick up a few runs here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, a real opportunity here, but for Lucas Franco, looks like it's going to be against another left-handed pitcher as John Savage makes another walk out to the mound.
Savage taking his time getting out to the mound here. Has not gone to the bullpen yet. And finally, here comes the gate open, and here comes the new pitcher. It's a lefty. As Connor mentioned, we'll tell you who it is after we get back from this timeout. You'll listen to Horned Frog Baseball on KTCU.
Hey, guys, let's play some video games.
This new dad plays video games with his sons, but the challenge feels like he's lifting a metric ton.
So many buttons.
His avatar just stares at the walls, twists and turns and somehow falls.
Help me.
He's tangled up in the controller's cords.
I just don't understand this crazy digital world.
Crazy, crazy digital world. Zeros and ones. But the love from his kids is totally apparent. Ooh. See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Should have just played catch. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
UCLA goes back to the bullpen. They bring on the lefty, Chris Grotus.
Grotus into the ball game, his 3rd relief appearance of the year. He's got 2 innings of work for UCLA on the mound. 3 hits, allowed 3 earned runs, a couple of strikeouts and a walk. As John Savage goes back to the bullpen one more time. TCU real opportunity here. Chuck, bases loaded with 2 outs. The Horned Frogs are 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position tonight. Chance to break that hitless streak in that category.
And as I mentioned just before we went to the break, if TCU can string together a few hits here, score a couple of runs, and as we get to the latter part of this game, start to feel a little bit good about the way their offense maybe can do some damage against this Bruin team, which will set them up better for the next couple of ball games. It's got to be frustrating, not only that your pitching staff gave up the 10 runs in this ball game to this point, but that your offense has only scored 1, and that came on the home run. And TCU's got 7 hits total in the game. They've left 6, but they just have not been able to come up with critical hits when they've needed them. When they've had runners on base. Lucas Franco trying to change that here. Check this swing. They appeal down to Luis Fernandez. The third base umpire says he did not go around. Grotus comes set just below the belt. The lefty deals. Strike call, 1-1 on Franco. Lefty ready on the mound. Here's the pitch on the way. Franco lays off. The pitch is in the dirt, smothered behind the plate by Duggar. Well, the count goes to 2-1 on Lucas Franco. Bases loaded, 2 outs for TCU here in the inning. Frogs down by 9, but he's trying to pick up a few runs here. Franco lays off. That pitch way outside, and he's ahead in the count now, 3-1. Should get a pretty good pitch to hit here, I would think, although with the score lopsided, no need for Grotus to really come into him. foul. He did throw a pretty good pitch, but Franco chopped it foul. Now it's full 3-2.
Yeah, this was middle, just out in front.
Los Angeles with a score, UCLA 10, TCU 1.
Welcome into the KTCU studio for the middle of the 7th scoreboard update. Let's talk some Big 12 scores around the country. A shootout in Round Rock as number 11 Oregon State and Baylor are knotted up at 1 apiece in the top of the 9th. Oregon State took the lead in the 6th on a sac fly and held it until the 8th when Baylor roped an RBI double down in right center to tie it up. The Beavers are threatening with 2 runners on. Kansas State holding the Tigers down. Number 9 Auburn has the lead 4-1, but Kansas State has held down that red-hot offense. We're in the bottom of the 8th. The Wildcats have 1 off. Walter Quinn's previous team, Grand Canyon, hosts Oklahoma State. The Cowboys have blown this one open in Arizona. It's 9-1 in the top of the 8th. All right, we're gonna send it right back out to the West Coast, where Chuck and Connor are gonna have you for the rest of the game.
Thank you very much. TCU trailing 10-1 here. New pitcher on for the Horned Frogs, new left fielder check that. Okay, we'll get it right. You could have just said it.
I'm trying to tell you.
Cole Eaton. Well, he's usually an outfielder. I forgot that they've got him working as a pitcher now. I'm like, wait a minute. You're pointing to a guy who's in the outfield and saying he's on the mound? That doesn't make sense. But yes, it does, because he's been pitching for the Horned Frogs.
First pitching appearance for him on the mound. You mentioned he's listed as a left fielder. We've seen him a lot in a pinch running capacity, maybe situational defense late in ball games, but Kirk Sarlos, Dave Long have been working with him on the mound, so gets his first career opportunity on the bump here in the bottom half of the 7th inning.
Well, this could be one of those things, that they could discover lightning in a bottle. If Eaton can all of a sudden be a valuable asset out of the bullpen. He replaces Trevor Baumler, who goes an inning and 2/3 tonight, allows 1 hit, no runs, no strikeouts, 1 walk. He ended up throwing 32 pitches while he was in the game.
Now Jack Bell into the ball game for Caius Gargett at third base as well. So a couple of changes for TCU.
Face in his pitching debut will be Roman Martin, the third baseman. And he's got a little problem with the pitch com. So now he's officially a pitcher once he's got a little problem with the pitch com.
Ain't that the truth?
He's going to go visit with Cooper Shoulders here and get a new device in his hat. Coop's probably told you before, he said, because I said, what's wrong with these things? And he said, mostly it's operator error. Sometimes players forget to turn them on before they go out on the field. So Eaton finally settles with a new pitch comm in his cap that works, and he's set to throw his first collegiate pitch. And he threw it about 50 feet into the ground. I would imagine, even though he's been playing for the Horned Frogs for a while, this is a new endeavor, and he's a little nervous.
That is a transition, let me tell you, especially at this level for you to be making that switch.
There's a strike. So the first one bounced well in front of home plate. The second one right down the middle. A ball and a strike on Rowan Martin. Eaton delivers, misses outside for a ball. Well, this is also part and parcel of the new roster limitations where you don't have extra bodies around when people are hurt, and Eaton spikes another one in the ground. The count goes to 3-1. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Strike call. Full count, 3-2 on Martin, leading off the bottom half of the 7th inning. Ball 4, he walked him on a pitch that was up and in. A leadoff walk to Martin, and it will bring up Peyton Brennan.
Right fielder,
Brennan 0 for 4 with a strikeout tonight. Strike called on the inside corner. Good pitch from Cole Eaton. Eaton comes set at the belt. Here's the pitch on the way. Cut on and missed. He seems to be more comfortable pitching from the stretch. Now Kirk Starless is going to go over and talk to Traeger. I think Traeger's got some problems with his pitch com. Count on Peyton Brennan. Eaton comes set. Here's the pitch. Tried to backdoor him with a breaking ball, but it stayed outside. Count goes to 1-2. Eaton ready on the mound. Takes a look at the runner at first and delivers. That one's pulled into the far end of the TCU dugout off the facing of the dugout, and it'll roll down towards the TCU bullpen, which is just beyond the first base dugout. It'll stay 1-2 on the batter, Brennan. Missed away, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's the 2-2 pitch from Cole Eaton. This one hit well towards right center field. Going back, Brunson near the wall makes the catch. The runner tags and has to hold. Here in the 7th. Aiden Aguayo, the second baseman, will come up. Aguayo doubled and scored back in the 2nd inning. That was the first run of the game, plated by UCLA. Since then, he's grounded out 3 times. Delivers. Slider missed inside. Righty comes set on the mound. Here's the pitch. Got past Traeger, and that will allow the runner to advance. Martin heads to second base. Wild pitch charge to Cole Eaton. Strike called. And the count goes to 2-1 on Aguayo. Eaton brings the hands together, checks on the runner at second, and delivers. This one well hit to straightaway center field, but plenty of room for Strohschneider as he turns around, makes the catch, fires it back into the infield, and they're 2 away.
That's a nice job by Eaton, making some adjustments, getting into the strike zone here. Pretty straightforward for him. 88, 89 on the fastball. He'll throw a breaking ball in there that we've seen around 80, 81 miles an hour, just getting comfortable on the mound. Very daunting task to try and make a pitching appearance after being a position player. And it looks like he may be having some more comms issues.
Well, especially, you know, learning to pitch at this level. And they're going to call a ball as the clock ran out on him. I mean, he's got to learn about a million different things that he has never done before. At least at this level, we don't know. I don't know whether he pitched in high school. I'll have to ask. But this one's lined towards left field, and that is going to be caught by a stumbling Colton Griffin for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, a man left on base. Eaton survives his first inning on the mound. We go to the bottom half, or we go to the top half of the eighth inning, rather, 10-1 UCLA.
People are always talking about the stock market, always looking to invest in a good opportunity, something with the potential to grow. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock where you invest to make money, but a stock for a social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps students like me go to college, which ends up making the future better for everybody. I could be the first college graduate in my family, the first district attorney from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there will be a second and a third. This can really be the start of something. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. A public service announcement brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Top half of the eighth inning. Chris Grotus still on the mound for UCLA. Came on last inning to record the final out of the frame. He'll face Liddington, Traeger, and Dallimore here. Game 2 of this series will start at 4 o'clock Central Time tomorrow. Lance Davis will make his second appearance on the mound for the Horned Frogs after struggling last Sunday against Oklahoma. He'll take on Michael Barnett for UCLA. Check swing. He went around, so says first base umpire Stephen Corvey. Rob Liddington Jr. at the plate has a base hit that came back in the fourth inning. He's popped to second and struck out his other 2 times up. Hits this one high in the air, straightaway center field, pretty deep, backing up his Gasparino. He's got room and he makes the catch. Traeger will bat with 1 out, and the base is empty. He's 0 for 3. Last weekend, Traeger hit a number of balls right on the screws. None of them fell, and he's yet to get untracked. He's 0 for 3 in this game, and he sees his average dip below 100. It's 0.77 here.
Yeah, that's not reflective of how he hit the ball last week, but has not had that consistent luck of seeing good swings result in base hits.
Ball and a strike on him as that one clipped the corner. Lefty deals. Strike 2 called. It's 1-2. Pitch in the dirt outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Traeger with 1 out and the base is empty as we play here in the top half of the 8th inning. It's been all UCLA since the bottom of the 2nd. Just 1 run on the board by the Horned Frogs. Now is via the Brunson home run. Full count, 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. Off the end of the bat, bouncer towards short. Chalowski comes up with it, charging hard, makes the throw after a good exchange, and there are 2 outs.
Yeah, it's just really quick hands on that play defensively. This one had trouble written over just because how softly it was chopped, but Chalowski able to come in and make the play. I was not mentally prepared for a real feel of 43 degrees tonight.
Oh, I'm with you. I mean, we thought it would be cold, but it is very, very, it is much colder than it was at home, that's for sure. That pitch taken for a strike. And at least I brought a jacket. You didn't even bring a winter coat for this trip. We're thinking sunny California, and it'll be beach weather.
I think that's a completely logical expectation on my end, but
Dallimore in the hole, 0-2.
I get it. You've been around the block.
Yes, unfortunately. Multiple times. That's why I'm old. C.J. Bott takes over for the Bruins.
Now, second time out for the right-hander. Bott through 2/3 of an inning in his first appearance, gave up a hit, had nothing else doing. One last arm on for John Savage as he looks to close out. If this result holds, a Game 1 win for UCLA, in which they've dominated offensively, Chuck. Nothing doing for the Horned Frogs other than a Chase Brunson solo homer.
Yeah, this has been a dominant performance both on the mound and at the plate for these Bruins. You can see why they're ranked #1 in the nation for growth. 2 Seagulls an inning in the 3rd without allowing a hit or a run. Faced 4 batters, retired them all. Ended up throwing just 18 pitches. No strikeouts, no walks for them either. It has been a dominant performance by the Bruins here tonight in all phases of the game. No errors. They've hit for power. They've hit just in general with a grand total of 15 hits in the game tonight. And it could even be worse. They've left 13 on base.
Yeah, 7 of those 15 hits for extra bases. It's just been a high-powered showing.
Gargett was switched over to second base. Jack Bell entered the game last inning at the plate. Takes the ball. Ball and a strike on him. Gargett has a couple of hits tonight, 2 for 3. Batting from the left side, fouls it at the plate. Ball and 2 strikes on Gargett. It'll be Gargett, Griffin, top of the order, Jack Bell, who's hitting in Kramer's spot after entering the game. On the ground, back towards the middle, and that's going to be played, but no chance to get Gargett, who runs well, as Aguayo made the play way on the outfield grass, tried to do the old Derek Jeter jump throw, but spiked it into the ground.
A third time today, Gargett's put it in a good spot to roll it through the infield. This one corralled, but gets to that shallow center field spot. Like you said, no chance to get him with the way he runs. 3 hits on the day for the junior Gargett.
Colton Griffin, 1 for 3. Had a base hit back in the third. Since then, he has struck out, grounded to first. Thought he had beaten one out his last time up, but the call was reversed on review. Swing and a miss by Griffin. He's been taking some pretty big hacks tonight.
Yeah, these are bigger hacks than we've ever seen from Colton Griffin in a TCU uniform.
Down and away, changeup missed, off the plate, ball and strike. Tried to hit the outside corner again and missed wide. 2 balls and a strike on Colton Griffin. Leadoff man aboard for the Horned Frogs here in the 9th. 3-1 count. There's the 3-1 pitch to Griffin. Another big swing and a miss. That's full 3-2. Ball 4, he walked him. Now put runners at first and second. Nobody out, and bring up Jack Bell for the first time in the game. Bell on the year 1 for 6. Bott comes set at the belt after getting the side and delivers. Bell takes down an in, ball 1. Now, regardless of the score, if you're TCU, you're going to battle till the last out is recorded. And as we've said, that pitch missed outside. At this point in the season, this early in the season, there's a lot left to be decided as to who's going to play and who's not, and who's going to fill what role. And every at-bat, and whether you decide you're going to give it away or, battle.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, everything's an evaluation right now. Especially the way the last few games have gone for the Horned Frogs. Everything I would have to imagine is up on the table.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
You're just looking for a combination that starts to right the ship a little bit.
Bell takes high and away.
And that's both pitching and defense. That's lineup-wise as well. Looking for something to get things rolling in the right direction again after 2 great wins to start the year.
loss here tonight, and TCU will drop below 500. I'm not sure anybody thought that would be the case through this stretch of 5 ball games. It's not just the losses. We said this earlier. It's the way the losses have happened that's a little bit on the shocking side. Ball 4. Bell draws a walk, and they're loaded up. And on the other side, John Savage also doing a little bit of his own research on who is going to be part of this bullpen. He's got a pitcher warming up right now, but, you know, in his case, the game might not be decided, or, you know, maybe decided in his favor, but he wants to see who's going to fill some of these roles out as well. Savage comes out to the mound here to talk to his pitcher, C.J. Bott. For the moment, he's going to stay in the game.
A pretty quick message there to the right-hander. Looks like this is one where he's just challenging his pitcher out of the mound.
Yeah, with the score one-sided, he's not in any hurry to get him out of there necessarily. He wants to see if he can battle through adversity.
Infield single, it's 2 walks. Now you've got bases loaded for Sawyer Strohsnyder.
Stroh was trying to put 4 on the board, but that swing came up empty. Stroh hitting .286 for the year, the 1 home run, coming in his first game of the year against Vanderbilt. His first at bat against Vandy. That pitch in the dirt got away from the catcher, Duggar, but not far enough for the runners to try and advance. A ball and a strike on Strohsnyder. Tap foul, it's 1-2.
He's just been out in front of a couple changeups in this at bat.
Stroh with a lot of pressure on him this year, coming in with all of the high expectations and national recognition that he's gained and gotten and well deserved, but it's a lot of pressure on the young man. Feels he has to carry the ball club, maybe not hitting well, the team not hitting well right now, and feeling he has to deliver every time he comes up. And for him, it's just going to be a matter of going out there and playing baseball. And he's supremely talented. Just missed inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Strohsnyder. Bases loaded, nobody out. Here's the pitch to Stroh. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Second time tonight he has struck out. A 1 out, bases still loaded. Chase Brunson coming up. Connor told you he's accounted for the only run of the game tonight that the Horned Frogs have on the board, with a long home run to left field. Took the first pitch for ball 1. Strike called outside corner, a little spinner. And caught the outside corner. Aside from the home run, he has grounded out, struck out, and walked. Ball 2. It's 2-1 on Chase Brunson. The righty deals. Brunson fouls it off the end of the bat, right side, and it's 2-2. Bott comes set and delivers the 2-2 to Brunson up high, full count. Righty is ready on the mound. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 called. He struck him out. Painted the outside corner, and the Frogs are down to the final out of the night.
A couple of fastballs that have just surprised Stroh-Snyder and Brunson back to back. This is just dotted up on the outside corner.
Lucas Franco bat here with the bases loaded, 2 out. Frogs 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position tonight. And just 2 for 15 with runners on. They've had some opportunities, but they have not been able to capitalize. They struck out 13 times, and it's been one of those nights again for the offense. Bott ready on the mound. Here's the pitch. Franco takes over but low. 3-0 count on Lucas. Ball 4. At least the scoreboard has ball 4. Franco was still standing there, and it is ball 4. That'll force in the second run of the game for the Horned Frogs. And bring up Rob Lennington. Lennington has a base hit. That pitch in the dirt. For 4 for Liddington. Bases loaded. Griffin's over at third. Bell out at second. Franco over at first. Pitches in for a strike, and it's 1-1. Shift is on for Liddington. They have 3 infielders on the left side of the infield. Strike 2 call. You don't see that shift against the right-handed hitter that often. And the first baseman, Lava, was playing in on the grass and literally where the second baseman would normally play. Liddington lays off. If he shoots the ball to the right side, he's got a base hit. Liddington was playing in on the, Lava was playing in on the grass over there, and swinging and a miss. He strikes out on a high fastball, and that'll end the ball game. In the ninth for TCU, they pick up a run. It comes on 1 hit. There were no errors. They leave the bases loaded. We'll take a quick 60-second timeout and then come back to wrap this one up for you right after this.
I'm working 2 jobs, and my husband works too. My kids go to school with your kids. I sit next to you at PTA meetings. We live right next door. We've been neighbors for years. You know my family and me pretty well, but here's one thing you don't know. I'm 1 out of every 6 Americans, and my family is struggling with hunger. Like you, we believe in this country. What's hard to believe is in the land of milk and honey, how many hardworking Americans have to choose between paying bills and feeding their families.
This is a problem with a solution. Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 7 meals for those around you quietly struggling with hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Jackie Robinson Stadium here in Los Angeles as TCU falls to the Bruins tonight by a final score of 10-2. And once again, really, Connor, to be honest, for the third straight ball game, it's been a disappointing, not only a disappointing result for the Horned Frogs, but the way it unfolded is disappointing.
Yeah, it's just not the brand of baseball that Horned Frog coaches and fans have become accustomed to. 33 runs allowed over the last 3 games. And offense, with the exception of a bit of a comeback on Tuesday night, just really hasn't been there at all. Salvage another run in the 9th inning. Be a bases loaded walk. You got a solo home run from Brunson back in the 4th, but at that time it was a 5-0 game, a 7-0 game already, and you're playing from so far behind. It's tough to muster that momentum, especially when you're playing the #1 team in the country.
And for the Horned Frogs, they're going to have to go back to the hotel, and they're going to have to try and regroup. 2 tough games coming up tomorrow and Sunday, and then you play again on Monday. So you got 3 games on a night where the starter, Mason Brassfield, only lasted an inning and 2/3, and you've had to use a number of arms out of the bullpen.
Yeah, you got to put your hard hats on if you're the Horned Frogs. It's going to be tough sledding over the next couple of days. This is going to be a very tough series. You have everybody that you need to try and come back, take a game tomorrow, and then see if you can't force a rubber match on Sunday. But it's going to take getting back to the basics, and that's something that this Horned Frog team just has kind of gotten away from a little bit over these last few ball games.
Long meeting going on for TCU outside of their dugout as they try to go over some stuff, regroup, and refocus themselves before getting on the bus. Let's take a look at the final totals in the ball game for TCU. 2 runs on 8 hits and an error. They left 12 men on base. For UCLA, 10 runs, 15 hits, no errors. They left 13 men stranded this evening. Logan Redeman, the winning pitcher for the Bruins, he is now 2-0. Mason Brassfield with the loss for the Horned Frogs. He is now 0-1 on the season. With the win, UCLA improves their overall record to 4-1 on the year. With the loss, TCU falls to 2-3 on the season. Time of the game tonight, 3 hours and 30 minutes in front of 1,165. So the Horned Frogs will try and regroup and get back at it tomorrow as they will take on these UCLA Bruins in Game 2. It's a 4 p.m. start. Back in Fort Worth. We'll be on the air a half hour prior to that with the pregame show. Until then, this is Chuck Lomadola for Connor Wanhanen saying so long from Los Angeles. Once again, the final tonight, TCU loses to UCLA by a final count of 10-2. Good night, everyone.
I want to thank my mommy for loving me so much, for taking me out to the park, for reading me books, for taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot in ballet rehearsal,
For leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for having the chance to take you to the park, for reading you those books we enjoy so much, for being able to take you to your therapies after you twisted your ankle, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. And in your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving to get practical health and wellness tips to provide even better care for your loved one. Remember, visit aarp.org/caregiving. AARP, we help you help. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The College of Communication here at TCU offers the ever-growing and always in-demand major of sports broadcasting.
Many ask, what exactly is taught in the sports broadcasting major? This popular field of study caters to us students that want to learn the skills to produce live and remote sporting events for both radio and television.
We acquire the skills to put together sports programming at the professional level, and we then use this new expertise to produce games you can watch on ESPN Plus or listen to right here on KTCU.